Hey, hi, hello. I'm Lisa Michelle, and this is Rare Pairs, the podcast where I randomly select two characters from my pop culture fandom and then do my very best to get creative and try to convince you, as well as myself, that they would make a great pair. Each episode, I will do two different ships, and at the end, I will leave it to the listeners to decide which you think made the better rare pair. Tweet your choice at Rare Pairs Pod, or if you have more words to say, feel free to send your diatribes to rarepairspod@gmail.com. As per always, there is a video component to this episode, so if you'd rather watch on YouTube, feel free. I will also be posting clips on TikTok as well as Instagram. Okay, perfect. Let's jump on in because it is Wakanda Forever week, which obviously means that we are doing Marvel this episode. I am so excited. Admittedly, I am a MCU fan. I know a lot less about the comics. I've read some, but I am by no means an aficionado on the comic lore. So I feel like I should really point that out before we jump into today's different pairings because I'm only going to be speaking from the MCU lens. For each pairing, we'll be using our 3 categories to help us judge each couple. First category is vibe check, and that's just their current compatibility in canon as it is. Second category, aesthetics. Would they make a cute couple? And third, my personal favorite, alternate universe. The section where I do my best to spin a tale as to how this couple would get together. Jumping into our first pairing, I am reaching into the bowl of names in front of me, and our first name is Thor. Ooh, wow. Jumping in with the big guns, aren't we? Our second name is Bucky. Oh, I actually just felt a shiver run down my body at this. Our first pairing is Bucky Barnes and Thor. It's almost too spicy. Am I blushing? Is it hot in here or is it just this rare pair? So category 1, vibe check. Okay, so current compatibility. Both of them, I believe, have really good hearts. In their core, they are very good people. So putting them together, it's very interesting because both of them have a tongue-in-cheek kind of energy. Obviously, Thor is more of a golden retriever character. He's just happy to be there. He just wants to help, you know? Obviously, he'd be a Gryffindor. Loves honor, loves his family, does what he thinks is right. Also, he's a jock. Bucky, I think we can just look at how he was growing up wise and like what we know from Steve pre-Winter Soldier. If we're using Steve as our barometer of what does a good person look like, if he was willing to throw away his whole life, his reputation to defend and protect Bucky because he truly believed that he was a good friend, a good person, I feel like we have to keep that into consideration. Compatibility, where they are right now, Bucky has gone through therapy. He still has work to go, but he's definitely at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's in a much better emotional space than he was before. Clearly, he's been making peace with his past. That's great. By the end of Love and Thunder, Thor has clearly made a lot of strides towards his healing process. Could he also use therapy? Yes, 100%. Every single Avenger, I swear if it's not in their coverage, I really think Pepper Potts needs to take another look at what's happening. Category 2 is aesthetics. Would they make a cute couple? Duh. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they would be smoking together. Okay, but this is what I really want. Long-haired Bucky, and I want short-haired Thor. Yes, we do love 2 long-haired boyfriends, but I think that there is something to the dynamic of Thor in Ragnarok where he had kind of the fucked up haircut, but it looked so good and had some little cuts out on the side. That with prime Winter Soldier Bucky hair, yeah, that'd be nice. On our Ice Cube to Ghost Pepper hotness scale, this is a Ghost Pepper. This is our strong first Ghost Pepper pairing that we've ever had for aesthetics. They are so pretty, and you know what we love so much? A blonde and brunette duo. Hello? Blondes and brunettes together are just chef's kiss. Okay, category 3, alternate universe. How are Bucky and Thor getting together? Okay, so I'm imagining the time before Love and Thunder. So at this point, Thor, we like to think he's kind of been working on himself, but he has a lot more to go. Let's say he also had to go to therapy, the same one that Sam and Bucky had to. Would he have shown up at the beginning? No, but I could imagine Valkyrie saying, "You are not doing well." And now that the world has righted itself once again, I think it's time that you actually showed up to that mandatory therapy meeting that you're supposed to be going to. Like, it's fine. Sam's there, Bucky's there. Thor's like, who? He only knows the code names. Oh, it'd also be kind of nice if they all did group sessions too. Okay. This is how the bonds are building. At this point, let's say Bucky has been going to therapy for like 3 months. Thor, newbie. They have an open standing group therapy session. So the only reason that Thor will go is because Valkyrie basically convinces him. She's like, fine, I will go with you to get you there. And then maybe think about doing a little solo session. I think it could do wonderful things for you. You know, now that they're at New Asgard, they've all heard of therapy. It is this thing that humans do, and it's one of the few things that they're doing right. We should probably get in on this. So Thor says, fine. They both go to the group therapy session. And let's say it's Sam, Bucky, Valkyrie, Thor. Oh, and Scott Lang would also be there. He has a lot to work through. He popped out, popped back in. Cassie is so much older. She looks completely different. I feel like he would need a lot of time to unpack all of that as well. Plus, he's like, this is the only time you guys want to get together. Even if it's therapy, he's like, I am there. I am so ready. None of you come on my podcast. I honestly imagine that he can only get like the most like D-list people on his podcast. Him and Mantis once in a while. Oh, Mantis would be so good on a podcast. Imagine if Mantis and Drax co-hosted a podcast. That'd be really fun. Okay, getting off track. They can also be in the therapy circle. So now we have, because I just want them to be there. So now at therapy, we have Sam, Bucky, Thor, Valkyrie, Scott Lang, Mantis, and Drax. What a fun crew. And I could see Thor, clearly his coping mechanism is to laugh through the pain. That's his. And Bucky is just like the silent stewing in the pain. I can't afford to be happy. I've done all of these bad things, you know? Like I said, he has been going to therapy for a bit. So he's really working on it. But still, you know, the natural tendencies. So I could see him being down on himself and Thor trying to be like, no, you know, you didn't mean to. And then maybe Bucky kind of like snaps back and says, take your own advice, then come talk to me, big boy. Oh my God, Lisa. Okay, that one just slipped out. I'm so sorry. They create this kind of back and forth energy during therapy. Flash forward, we're healing, we're going. Bucky heals quicker than Thor does because he's put in more time, he's put in a bit more work. So the first group therapy session that Bucky doesn't show up to, Thor is just like, where is my grumpy boy? That is usually who I'm going back and forth with. Because at this point, remember Valkyrie said she would only go to the first one just to kind of help him out. So at this point, he's really only bantering a lot with Bucky. Scott is just there, you know, his elbows are on his knees, his head is in his hands, and he's just looking back and forth. Oh my gosh, this absolute spice is just delicious. Scott would be the captain of their ship without a doubt. He's trying to say like, oh, should we go get some food after today's session? They're both like, no. But Scott's trying so hard. And yes, it's because he wants to hang out with them, but I also think it's because he sees the connection in the room. And he's like, okay, you just need to hang out outside of this space. Something could be brewing. Oh, okay, so that's what happens. Bucky doesn't go to therapy anymore. He's done. Or he doesn't go to the group sessions. He does maybe like a bi-weekly check-in, but just one-on-one. Thor is still going. Scott sees it. He sees what's happening. He's like, no. My boys, we got to bring this together. So Scott calls a meeting and makes it seem like all of the Avengers will be there. He just comes up with some kind of random excuse saying there's a large disturbance of energy, blah, 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 blah. Bucky and Thor, they both can't help falling back into the rhythm of, okay, it's go time, let's hit the battle. They're both people of action. Do they deserve the break? Yes, but I feel like they're both so, I'm ready to jump in. So they both show up ready to gain all the information, and it's just them. They're looking around and they're like, wait, hold on. What is happening here? Where is everyone else? And then the lock clicks. I'm sure it's better technology given that it's Stark Industries. But let's just say a lock goes, and then Scott has a remote or something and he just presses a button and out of nowhere, like a fireplace, there's a fireplace, just erupts. He goes, Scott's trying his best, man. He famously isn't the best at love, but he tries his best to be a good wingman. So some mood music plays on in the background. It's just like, let's get it on. Bucky and Thor just look at each other and they're like, what is happening? Did you do this? No, did you do this? And it's the classic. They are locked in there, let's say 2 hours, and they're trying to get out. And the thing is, if they really wanted to, both of them are so powerful, especially Thor. He could get out if he really wanted to, but he doesn't because he's missed Bucky. He's just like, well, I haven't had anyone kind of on my level to banter back and forth with. And yes, I know therapy is not the place to find love. I am just rolling with the wave that is coming to me as this is happening. Sweet. Scott has set out a little picnic basket and everything. Like, just imagine, it's all of these windows. It's all gray. It's super cold. But then you just have a fireplace going. You have Marvin Gaye playing and a little picnic set up. And it's just so cliche. And what makes it even better is that since Bucky is a human, he knows right away, oh my God, this is a romantic setup. And he's blushing. And Thor's just like, what is this basket filled with this food? Why would this be here? He hasn't seen enough rom-coms to like truly understand the trope that is at play, the setup friend trope. So they have their picnic, it's super cute, and they're bonding, and they're just sort of at this point letting it happen because they're not getting out. Of course, Thor is the first one to give because he also doesn't realize, oh, this is a date. And their love story just blossoms from there, you know? It is the classic, but that's why it's so good. It is disgruntled work acquaintances into tentative therapy friends into lovers. I'll let my dreaming stage end at this little first date. I could probably sit here for another 20 minutes thinking about their full arc, but we have to move on to our second pair. But I am just saying, if you'd like to write a little drabble of this or draw a picture of them sitting on a picnic blanket in the middle of the Avengers Tower, there's a sharing of champagne. Oh, but they're both in their gear to go fight a battle because they were prepared to just ready to hit it. So they're not wearing leisure wear. They're both in full getup, just sitting on the ground on a picnic table sharing a bottle of Prosecco. Now we are jumping into our second pairing. I am selecting the first name from the bowl. We have Aunt May. Oh, what a dime. Okay. Okay. Aunt May is paired with Darcy. Oh, full body chills. I can't feel my right foot. It just went numb. The power. Our second pairing is Aunt May and Darcy Lewis. Oh my God. Wow. Today's pairings are just too powerful. I'm sort of used to one slightly wholesome or one that can kind of make sense and then one that's just batshit off the walls. I love today's pairings. Oh my God. Okay. Category 1, vibe check. So their current compatibility in canon. What's amazing is of all the names I could have drawn, Aunt May and Darcy are two non-powered up humans in this array of like hyped up powered individuals. This is so good. Let's think of some similarities. What's kind of cool is I think that they are both charismatic in a way that is different, where Darcy, I think, has absolute zingers. You know, she's so funny and that's what draws people to her. But what's even better is that she's not even trying to be funny for anyone. It's almost as if she has no filter. It's just all out there. But that's what's so endearing about her. And Aunt May, I feel like, is charismatic in the way where she glows. People are just attracted to her. Like, her smile is infectious. She gives off such warmth. Also, I mean, if you think about like her job and just how she brought up Peter, she just exudes this raw charisma that few people kind of do in the world. So yeah, that's kind of where their compatibility is at now. I think they're both very supportive people and they're both extremely charismatic people, but in a very interestingly different way from each other. Category 2 is aesthetics. Would they make a cute pair? Yeah. Here's the thing. If you put anybody next to Darcy and if you put anybody next to Aunt May, that couple, no matter who is next to them, they just are operating at such a high curve. It's a lot. They would be stunning. My goodness, I'm sweating again. This episode is too much spice, I think. I I need an ice bath after this. It's too much. So on our ice cube to ghost pepper hotness scale for a couple, like once again, similar to our first pairing, this is a ghost pepper. They are so hot. I am here for it. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. All right, category 3, alternate universe. How would May and Darcy get together? I imagine in a classic Avengers alignment battle scene where they're all gathering together to go out, save the world, like once again. And then you have the loved ones kind of banded together. So Darcy and Aunt May are there and they're both just panic watching what's happening. Okay, let's say this takes place during the era when Jane is Mighty Thor, because that would explain why Darcy would be in the important plus ones room. And let's say during all of this, Darcy and May, that is how they meet, because they're both there worrying about their people. Obviously, May for Peter, Darcy for Jane, and kind of Thor, but mainly Jane. And the thing is, they're not sit around just watch things happen kind of ladies. So I could see them in this room and they're like, why would we stay here? We have to help them. They would band together. They would go out and fight to help their loved ones. My brain isn't thinking about what exactly kind of disaster is happening, but some disaster. But they are like the people on the ground and they're buzzing in. And they're like, we're going to do this because no one else can. They're all busy with the aliens, etc., as per every Avengers movie. They're on the ground getting to whatever target they need to get to. And Darcy has a moment where she's using her brilliant brain to figure something out. And May is there supporting her. Be like, no, you got this. You got this. When Darcy kind of freaks out and is like, I don't know what I'm doing. She's like, no, you got it. You got it. So we have our supportive girlfriends on the ground. The battle is won. They embrace each other. It's a nice, lovely hug. And they do that amazing thing when people in movies like hug and then they like hold each other at like an arm's length, like the hands are on the shoulder. They look at each other and then that's when they're like, oh my God, she is hot. Woo, okay. You know, it really is sinking in for both of them, you know, are single ladies. And I could see them just kind of walking off together because, you know, there's all of the cleanup and everything happening. And they're just sort of look at each other like, should we go get food while we wait for them to, you know, wrap things up? And then that incidentally leads to their first date. So yeah, it would bring a high pressure situation to bring them together. They would have to work together as a team. And that inexplicably brings trust between them. It creates this life bonding experience for them. And that is how May and Darcy would get together. Now that we've heard from these two absolutely sensational ships today, I mean, really sensational ships today, I want to help inform the listener's decision of what made the better rare pair by going into Archive of Our Own, AO3, you know, the kingdom of fan fiction, and see if either of these pairs have ever been written before. And if they have, I will read the title and the blurb of the first one that pops up. If I had to make a choice between the two of them, I would say that there's a higher chance that there is a Thor and Bucky fanfiction out there, but I'm also not that hopeful that someone has actually written it. But you never know, so we're gonna hit the search. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Thor and Bucky came up. 161 results? That is the most results we've ever gotten for a rare pair. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so the one that I'm seeing that has the most views came out on the 25th of September, 2022. This is very recent. Oh my God. Okay, so the fanfic is called Welcome to Thor's Court. It is written by Finney, 2 N's both times. Oh my God. And the blurb is, Thor ascends to the throne in Asgard and needs to have the role of queen be filled. Luckily, he has 2 companions on Midgard that he believes would be perfect, even if a tad bit unconventional. Guys, the 2 companions are Steve and Bucky. A throuple. There are 60,000 words and still counting. Chapter 9 out of question mark. Guys, a throuple. That's a fun OT3. Steve and Thor. I mean, color me so intrigued. This is insanity. One of the tags just says Queen Bucky Barnes. I'm just not over that. There's 161 fan fictions out there with Thor and Bucky. Are most of these thruples? This is amazing. Okay. That is absolutely beautiful. And so unexpected. I'm so proud of everyone out there. So hard at work. Oh my days. I hate that now I have a slight hope that Aunt May and Darcy might come up. Darcy Lewis and May Parker. Wait. Ooh. No way. No way. Oh my God. Oh my God. 3 results came up for Darcy Lewis and May Parker. 3. What is... Clearly, I have not read enough Marvel fan fiction because I did not realize people were writing just batshit pairs. 3! Oh my God, the top one has 12,000 hits. That's even more than the other one. So this is written 15th March 2021. The title is A Secret in Plain Sight by Store-Bought Kid 87. The blurb. Darcy has been known to keep other people's secrets. Hell, she's had one for 15 years. For 15 years? Sorry. Hell, she's had one for 15 years, and it looked like she could keep it for a little bit longer. But when someone from her past threatens that secret, Darcy scrambles to protect it. Question is, can it stay a secret? Do you think it's that she's gay? What do we think? I mean, it has to be that she's like, limp wrist, right? Or unless she has a power. Wow. This has been the most thrilling search we have done yet. I cannot believe that we have results for both of our pairings. So listeners, take from that what you will, because clearly there are backings for both of these ships. One a bit more, but I mean, I'd take both as a win. I'm flabbergasted right now. Okay, remember to send in your choices of who you think made the better pairing. If it was Bucky and Thor or Aunt May and Darcy. Honestly, I don't know which one I would pick. I'm really into both of them. But thank you so much for listening to Rare Pairs. It's been an absolute blast today. You can find the pod on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere that pods are cast. Please review, rate, subscribe to help the show grow. Share the show with your friends, your foes, and the people in your life who definitely need therapy. All right, until next time, stay safe and happy shipping. Bye.